Hello there! Welcome to Starland TV. I'm your host, Coach B, and I am ready to launch into the endless possibilities of your life. Now, if this is something that excites you, you are in the right galaxy right here, right now. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that I'm really passionate about, and that is the toxicity behind our constant need for approval. So I'm a huge advocate about feeling good about ourselves as women, but this can get sometimes really hard in the kind of world that we live in. So why are we always looking for this approval, and why some of us actually need that approval? I really believe that inside each and every one of us there's an inner light, and that inner light shines through when we feel good and appreciate who we are. Now, if someone tells you that you look good, that inner light ignites just a little bit. And because it feels good and it brings you a huge blissful satisfaction, you want to hear that over and over and over again. But no matter how many times you hear it, it's never going to be a constant feeling of personal satisfaction because you're looking for it outside of yourself. Now, when you start believing that you're whole and complete, when you start believing that you're enough, when you start believing that you are worth everything, then that inner light just naturally shines through you and it stays there at all times. So you kind of live in this state of like constant ecstasy in your life. Now, I truly think that being beautiful doesn't come from other people telling you that you're beautiful. It comes from you actually believing. So when I was younger, I used to look up how to be beautiful on Google. Now, this was pretty crazy because I was actually a pretty good looking child. Now, this is me when I was about 7 years old, and it was about that time that I would do that. So where did these beliefs come from? I wasn't ugly, I didn't have anything wrong with me, but I still believed it. So I read this book by Louise Hay. It's called You Can Heal Your Life. And she says that we are victims of victims. And what this means is, if your parents constantly said that they were fat, constantly said that they were ugly, or something like that, you start believing that even if it's not true. And that happens to them as well. If their parents constantly said things as such, they start believing it. So we are victims of victims. So it passes down from generation to generation. And these limiting beliefs can actually be confronted and changed, but you have to be aware of them. Now, through my expedition of confidence, I learned that genetics have a lot to do with it, but I also learned that you can master confidence. No matter what type of parents you have, no matter what type of life you have, this is an art that you can master, and it all starts with awareness. So, we're going to start today with our 2 actionables. Number 1, I want you to sit down and write a list of all the things that you think are bad about yourself. So when I came up with my list, I put, I don't have a good memory, I will never be successful because I have an accent, and I am ugly. Once you have your list, I also want you to sit down by yourself in a relaxed state of mind, and I want you to start figuring out where these beliefs are coming from. So what I came up with is, I don't have a good memory came from my dad. He used to tell me that I couldn't remember anything, but the truth is, I was a teenager who didn't used to pay attention to him. Me being ugly comes from my mom. She was constantly putting me into diets because she wasn't satisfied with my body. So I always felt like I wasn't enough. Then me thinking that I wouldn't be successful because I have an accent came from my friends because they would always make fun of my accent, And the truth is that that's not true at all. Actually, having an accent means that you're bilingual, so you have a higher chance of making it out in the world. But anyway, so now that you know what your negative and limiting beliefs are and where they're coming from, okay, now you can understand that you don't really believe that. Other people have implanted that into your mental state. So the next thing I want to do is, I used to do this all the time, write yourself a love poem and love the crap out of yourself. My good friend Tiffany Knowles reminded me of this last week. She wrote herself a beautiful, super poetic poem, and I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to leave a link below in this article so you can read it, so you have an idea of what a love poem looks like. But pretty much just tell yourself of all the wonderful things about you. Now, it's your turn to share your story, and I'd like to hear what limiting self-beliefs you have held throughout your life that keep you from feeling good and achieving your goals. and what are you gonna do about it? Now, if you like this video, please share it with all your friends and comment below for your answer as well. And I will see you on the next episode of Starling TV.